Today, I'm joined by two friends. First ever 3-episode guest podcast in the new Mike Squires studio. We had to make special arrangements for these two. Chris, Savannah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you guys there. So these guys are responsible for Sin City Creative. If you would like to explain it, what Sin City Creative is so that our guests can get familiar right away. You know what I mean? Our listeners can get familiar.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sin City Creative is a media marketing company. We're based out of Las Vegas, but we travel the world. We do editorial photography and videography. We do hotel marketing, brand management, and marketing strategy plans and things like that.
Yeah, we're a one-stop shop, basically, for all marketing needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and would you guys happily explain your relationship with each other?
We're officially, engaged.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. You can support by subscribing on YouTube or downloading on your preferred podcast platform. And definitely go do that because it helps us grow and I can have more incredible guests on the podcast. The Mike Squires and Friends podcast is proudly sponsored by DistroKid. Looking to broaden your musical horizons as an artist? Discover DistroKid. With its smooth and rewarding music distribution platform, DistroKid offers unlimited uploads while ensuring artists retain 100% of their royalties and earnings. Join the community of over 1 million artists who trust DistroKid to distribute their music across major platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, and so many others. Having personally used DistroKid since 2018, I can attest to their superiority amongst distribution services. Collaborating with fellow artists has become effortless, especially with the ability to easily send splits of songs, streamlining the creative process. With the DistroKid app, accessing these benefits is now more convenient than ever. Safely sign up or log in with 2-factor authentication, upload releases on the fly, monitor earnings, and withdraw funds from your DistroKid bank. Stay updated on royalties through push notifications, effortlessly share hyperfollow links, manage account details seamlessly, and track streaming stats from Spotify and Apple. Additionally, explore Mixia for professional-grade mastering, DistroVid for music video distribution, and Instant Share for secure file sharing with collaborators, producers, and more. The DistroKid app is available on both iOS and Android. Download it today from the App Store or Google Play Store to revolutionize your music career. Visit distrokid.com/VIP/Mike Squires to get 30% off your first year membership. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Mike Squires and Friends.
And I think it's cool because like you guys kind of have like the power couple dynamic going on. You know, I like to see that, dude. It's like, I don't know, I just see that you guys for me knowing you as long as I have, like you guys are always lifting each other up.
Yeah, definitely. Over the last almost coming on 6 years, this has been such a just amazing road. You know, I would have never thought we would be here today running a business, you know, at the capacity that we are. You know,
and just even being in a relationship as well. It's been an interesting road.
Yeah, I want to talk to that. We got a lot that I want to cover today. But like one thing that I'm curious, like how did you guys initially connect?
Actually through online dating app.
Yeah.
We
let's go.
We met through Tinder, which is, I just feel like that's, I don't know, I should hit up Tinder and see.
True love can happen on Tinder.
Yeah, true love. Yeah, it's great. I was on vacation, or on a work trip, I think, in Connecticut. I was living in LA at the time. And what happened? I guess you were working at a restaurant down the road, and that's why we connected, right?
Yeah, I worked at one of the restaurants down the street from his house. So I was in the proximity, which is how we ended up connecting. And you came to visit me at work one day, and then the rest was history at that point.
Yeah, that was, I remember that. That was, that's cute. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yeah. You can find true love on Tinder. That should be the slogan.
So how did you guys end up the work relationship together? You know, like at what point did that, because I know you've always been doing photography since I've known you forever. And there's another episode that we released. Chris has been on the podcast before. You were on episode like 6 or 7. Now we're 7.
Was that early?
It was that early, dude. It was a
few years ago, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a year and a half, like one of the early episodes.
Yeah.
But now you're back. Like, what is it like working together, and how did that come to be?
I mean, so we honestly, how did it start, right? Like you were modeling for me.
Well, so it originally started when we first started dating. We figured the best way to get to know somebody is to travel together, and we both enjoy traveling. Like we traveled the world. So we figured we would go on a trip together, see how well we travel, and if we connect, if we don't kill each other on this trip. And so we were looking at traveling within the US actually, and we were going to go down to Florida or California, visit some of his spots in LA. And it was just really expensive. It was really expensive traveling within the US. And so we were thinking, you know, just for fun, let's see how much it would cost to travel outside of the US. And we found $400 round trip tickets to Tokyo, Japan. And so like we had just been dating for a month and we decided to go on this 15-hour
It's like
flight.
that was like our first real date.
Yeah.
Like real date. Like we did a restaurant, but I think that was really, or a movie theater, right? Like we went to a movie, and I guess that was a real date too. But
couple stuff.
that was like me trying to prove myself to you know. And then when we first really like, we were like, okay, yeah, that was like. But I always look at that as the first official date, which kind of goes hand on hand. We'll get more into that about the engagement and where I chose to propose.
Yeah.
But stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah. And but we worked with Park Hyatt.
Yeah.
Tokyo.
So when we went over to Tokyo, we stayed there for a week, which was not enough time
like
for a 15-hour flight.
Right. It was like 2 days of travel, 5 days of even being around, you know, walking around.
But during one of those days, we ended up working with the Park Hyatt Hotel, which is Lost in Translation.
Bill Murray.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
that movie is filmed at the Park Hyatt Hotel.
Yeah.
How was that feeling?
It was dope. It was cool. I've worked at hotels before, but not. I think it was just that's a famous hotel in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Because of that movie, it's like one of the more. It's definitely also a more Americanized hotel.
Yeah, definitely. But it's gorgeous. You see the whole Tokyo city skyline, and when it's on a clear day, apparently you can see Mount Fuji, but we weren't able to.
No, I think we went at night, but no, it was cool. We did like a smaller project, like a 1-day project for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an amazing trip.
Yeah, that was the first hotel that we ever worked with, and I was modeling for him at the time, and we just kept doing projects similar to that, and I started realizing that I wanted to be more involved with the company. Like I had my own creative ideas, so I wanted to execute those as well, and that's how we just started collaborating together on different projects, and then now we own the media business together.
Yeah, Savannah was really good at traveling. Savannah lived in the Amazon rainforest. Peru, right? I don't know, you know, right?
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But I was always the grungier traveler, so I would be totally okay like camping out in the rainforest or going to a hostel or, you know, whatever the case was. And so compared to Chris, who's used to kind of the more luxury hotel experience.
Right. Even when I was like living in Japan, like on tour, like we still had a bougie experience doing that.
Yeah.
Because I was in a band.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm way more grungy.
Yeah.
But to your point, like, if you want to find out if you like somebody or not, travel with them. You know?
Right, 100%. Definitely.
I think that's like a great for anybody. It doesn't even have to be like a relationship. It could just be like a friend. You know what I mean? Because then once you're like living with somebody and like, you know, there's no hiding who you are when you travel with somebody.
No, and
100%.
on the road, even like all these little nuances, like the difficulties that you experience while traveling, because there will be difficulties while you're traveling.
It makes or breaks the relationship, right? I mean, if you guys can't figure it out together, then you know that you're screwed. Like, you know, it's not gonna. I don't say it's not gonna work out, but it's gonna be a difficult road ahead of you. And luckily, we were on the same page. I was very nervous because Savannah's like, okay, well, let's go on the train and get lost around Japan, which is a good country to get lost because it's really safe. But it was still like I was so nervous, like trying to find the studio Ghibli.
It's fire, dude.
Yeah, we were trying to find the museum, and then we ended up going to the production house by accident. We got lost in this random neighborhood in
They're
Japan.
just like drawing their next movie at the time.
It was like this multi-million-dollar mansion, and we see like these characters in the windows.
The boy and the herons just being like drawn right there.
There's like cars in the driveway, and there's like people in there. I guess they have a production house. That's where they write the. So we got lost there. So you definitely like showed me a whole different side of. I
was like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well,
there's a lot that I want to cover, so I want to get into it.
That's
so I want to talk about like hospitality marketing because you guys do a lot of that.
Yes.
So like, how did you guys get into that, and like, what's something that you've learned just working on hospitality marketing? Because I know a lot of the branding they do, like there's always like this clean cut corporate kind of vibe. Like, what's your guys' approach to it?
I mean, as you can see, we're fully covered up, right? With tattoos. So it was trying to find I don't know how you explain it. I mean,
well,
Savannah,
talk about how you first got into the hotels in the beginning. What inspired you to do that?
Right, about the Cavo Tagu,
yes,
like all that. Yeah. So there's a famous hotel in Greece called Cavo Tagu. I think I'm saying it right. I could be butchering that name, but
it's Cavo Taboo to me, dude. Whatever you say,
So this is like one of the most luxurious resorts, and it's also one of the most followed resorts. They have millions of followers on Instagram. They're known as being just as far as they bring in the biggest influencers in the world. And we've done a bunch of projects with them. But particularly, before I met Savannah, I did a project with my friend Anthea, and they had like a statue in the lobby, and it was like a super, I forget really what it was, but it was like it was just an insane art piece that you wouldn't find in like a Hilton. Like, if you go to certain like hotels and it's very like family friendly, PG-13, this hotel took it a step forward, and that's where I was.
It was a guy like blowing his brains out with hearts, right?
With hearts, yeah.
That's pretty graphic.
Yeah, it's a big statue piece.
Yeah, that was it.
Just kids walking through, you're just like...
literally, like there's kids like walking around the lobby, and like in Europe, it's so, it's just so...
They're a little bit more edgier with their art expression.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't fly over here, dude.
No, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't find that in like a Marriott, like down the road. But it made me think, I was like, damn, like it's if
this is the kind of art that they want, why don't they do the same thing with their marketing?
Right. So, they were doing that. Like they were taking a step above it, but then we wanted to incorporate, just more like, I want to say just edginess, but like, tattoos shouldn't be a taboo in hospitality marketing. Like hospitality marketing specifically, but I think marketing in general.
I mean, you don't see tattoos in marketing. Like, I'm just trying to think about it right now. Like, I'm thinking of all the commercials and stuff I see. It's like kind of like the same family, cookie cutter all over and over again. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we wanted to, it wasn't relatable. So it's like, it's the average traveler, the average person nowadays has tattoos. Why is this still, black and white, right?
Mm-hmm. And you can still, tattoos don't have to be grungy for a hotel. We can do it in a classy way, or we can do it in a very artistic expression.
I also think it's very old school to be like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we living in, the 1980s? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know, like...
Right.
Most people have tattoos, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we're not like in a biker gang or anything. Like we're not like...
The vibe is different now.
The vibe is very different.
I might look more like a biker gang now with the line in my head. And, yes. I definitely took it a step, but we never had... It was tough at first when we first got into hotel marketing. Especially because we're modeling, right? So that was a part of it. And it was tough at first to like promote... ourselves, to showcase that.
We were trying to fit into a mold, and we were trying to go along with what we thought the expectations were of what this kind of marketing direction would want. So we were doing the sweaters, the blue jeans, collared shirts, flowy dresses, things like that, trying to hide the tattoos as much as possible.
Kind of doing what you think was the thing.
Right.
I get it.
We weren't comfortable doing that. We weren't super passionate about it.
Anytime you're not yourself, it sucks. You know what I mean? So I get that right off rip.
Yeah, we didn't even want to promote the photos because we're like, we don't like the way we look in these. So why would we want to advertise that?
I was so tired of like the
fake.
Blue jeans
it's like
and sweaters.
Fake. You know what I mean? It's not who you are. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel that way. It's like, listen, if you're not going to accept me in my American flag suit, just let's not even work. You know what I mean? It's like who I am right now. Like, this is where I'm at. It's like, I don't want, like, if you won't accept me for who I am, like, I'm just not gonna, I just don't want to work with anybody.
You just gotta own it.
Yeah, you either get me, all of me, or none of me. You know, and I think that's like awesome that you guys did that too. Cause it's like, did you guys have to like feel like you had to put your foot down, or like, were you like, this is who we are, you take it or leave it kind of thing? Like, how did that work out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, did you get pushback, I guess is what I'm asking, when people were like,
We still do.
We still do. It was timing. It was timing. It was building a portfolio, showing them. I guess not showing them that we're not going anywhere. Like we were still like working with.
But also showing them our worth and showing them that the product does work. Like the product that we deliver, it works, and that there's no reason why we can't be showing our tattoos in these photos because people love it. And that was the biggest thing, especially on social media. You can see it with the trending videos and photos. People pay more attention to our look than they do the typical kind of neutral toned marketing. Yeah,
we had a few hotels that gave us a really big chance, like Kempinski Hotels.
Yeah.
Kempinski Hotels, they own, they're one of the more top, like, I don't know how many properties they have. And they're not Kempinski anymore, the hotel we were working with. But we talked about it on the podcast last, was a private island in Venice.
Okay, yeah, we did talk about that.
That was one of the biggest hotels we ever worked with at the time, right? And they were one of the first ones to give us a shot. And it's funny, the owner comes out and he's like this super old like Turkish guy, and he like starts when he first meets me, the whole entire like hotel is like, I mean, like everybody's like intimidated by him. He's a very intimidating man, very nice, friendly man, but intimidating as a boss, I would imagine. And
but he's
nice intimidating to me. He was so nice, but he just comes up to me and he's like rubbing my arm when he first meets me. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, and he's like, you know, like he thought like they were like, what are the
he looks at us and
he's
like, those don't come off, and we're like, no, they're on there permanently.
Right, like,
that's crazy that someone would do that though. Like I feel like that is it just like. I feel like that's just like basic manners though. At that point, like that's crazy. Like you know, I'm just
yeah, right. I know. It was almost like cute in a sense.
I mean, he felt so comfortable with us that.
Well, then maybe the vibe was different than what, like you know what I mean. But like, did you feel like you were being judged? I guess is like that. You know what I mean?
At the time, I went into it thinking I was gonna. He had nothing bad to say, and he was actually interested because then he asked us about the tattoos. That's why maybe at first when he first did that, I was like, oh, you know, like he's definitely like judging.
He's just like, huh.
Yeah, right. But then he actually talked to us about it, and he never was like, "Oh no!" Like we've had people.
It was more like a sheer curiosity.
You're right.
Okay.
We've had. I mean, like we're constantly dealing with. Like for example, we went to a restaurant in downtown New Milford that's more cookie cutter, and we met the restaurant owner of a restaurant down there. I would love to air out, but I don't know the restaurant name. But she was so rude. And no bad blood or anything, but we were at a Sip and Wine for New Milford, which is like a downtown event. You go up to like different restaurants, you meet the owners, and they like try wine and tapas style food at the restaurant. And and she came up to me and she's like, "I am so glad I'm not your mother." And I didn't know what she meant at first. I almost thought she was like joking. And she's like, yeah, you're like, I think it was my head tattoo. She's like, I'm so glad.
She started commenting on all the tattoos that you had, and then
I think that's how it started.
Yeah, and then she said like, oh, like I'm so glad you're not my son or something.
Oh, sorry,
like
right.
Yeah.
You're so glad. I'm so glad that you're not my son.
Yeah.
Not cool.
And at this point,
I couldn't. And at first, I like laughed it off, and I didn't understand it.
She's like, nah, for real. Like, I'm glad you are not my son.
So I was with my friends, and it was you, me, and two of my friends. My friends are like, did she just say that? And I was like, I completely went past it. I didn't even realize she said that.
You're drinking the whole time.
Yeah.
So we're in a good mood. We were
having
a good time. And then all of a sudden that happened and we kind of get snapped back to reality.
Yeah.
We're like, oh man.
Yeah, like I left, like it hit me 10 minutes later and I was like,
yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane that you have like
how
the audacity to say something like that to somebody.
Oh yeah,
you know,
dude, sometimes people could just be like unnecessarily brutal. Yeah, right. It's like, well, we're all having a good time. Like, what are you doing? It's like, and I don't know. I try so hard because I like even recently I had an experience that was kind of similar to that, and I just like try like, okay, maybe they're having a bad day, maybe but to me there's like no like don't be a dick, like you know what I mean. There's no excuse for that. You know, it's like
especially a stranger that you don't even know.
And a restaurant owner, I would think for a restaurant owner, I guess
you care about your reputation a little bit.
I just don't experience it. I mean, we live in Vegas, right? So it's like it's you know,
they're not even going to tolerate that type of shit.
No, right? Exactly.
Like it's so competitive.
The CEOs and restaurant owners in Vegas have tattoos, you know, like face tattoos, right? Like exactly extreme tattoos.
Yeah, and those are some of the biggest restaurants in the world.
Fairfield County. I've seen a little bit more of that, right? And I don't want to say it's specific to Fairfield County because I grew up in Fairfield County and I have so much love for it. But I definitely seen that it's a little bit more cookie cutter, like Greenwich, right? I actually got my head tattoos in Greenwich, and when I would step outside just to go across the street, and people would be like, "Oh my God," you know.
It is a bold choice, dude. What made you want to tattoo your head, dude? I can't I'm scared to get my first tattoo, dude. And I'm thinking about getting it on my arm, dude.
I'm actually going tomorrow to finish it.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting. I've had it 3 years now. I don't know, the head tattoo. I have a whole suit almost, like, which is like a whole, you know, my whole entire body almost finished, and then I just have to do little parts right now. So I'm a spontaneous person, but tattoos.
You didn't do the head one spontaneous, or did you, dude?
I did.
Kinda.
Yeah. That's crazy. Within like that day, I decided.
That's amazing.
Almost,
You're like, I think I'm gonna. You know what? I don't even think. I'm gonna go do it.
Well, typically what happens is we'll go to tattoo artists and we'll tell them like our vibe or what we're interested in, and they kind of create their own artwork for us.
Well, to give a little bit info back with that, we trade with tattoo artists, so we provide content in exchange for tattoos.
Yeah. But in exchange for those tattoos, like we still, like for me at least, I give them kind of a direction, and then they create their own art style. But for you, most of the time, you just tell them go crazy.
Yeah, I just want him to do I mean, obviously I have to sign off on it, but you know, and I'll see the drawing. But I was just running out of space, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do my head, you know. And
well, so we were talking to this one tattoo artist, and we just did photos for him, and he knew that Chris was interested in getting his head tattooed, but he didn't know what he wanted on his head yet. And so we walked in, and the tattoo artist was like, I have this great idea for your headpiece. This is what I got. And Chris was like, oh, I love it. I just don't know if I'm ready for the head yet. And so we actually stepped outside and talked about it. And he kept asking me, do you think I should do this? Should I go through with it?
Nervous. Yeah. It's a big, you know, statement,
it's a big commitment,
right?
Yeah,
because that's your head.
It looks sick, dude.
Thanks, dude. It's so like, see how dark it is here? Now it's time to like just, because this is all like one layer. So just kind of like the outline with a little bit of shading. Mm-hmm. Now the next step is going back over the head and making everything dark like this. So it
how badly does that hurt, dude? That's all I'm thinking right now.
The head was the easier. I went into it thinking it was going to be the worst pain ever. It was one of the easiest tattoos.
I can't even imagine.
That I went through. You know,
there was a certain point though, like I think at the top of your head or something, that it was hitting nerves, and he like. Was tearing up.
So there was one, it was like out of the 5-6 hours that I did,
this is the part that people want to hear, dude.
Yeah, it's like, so the top, so like my right side triggered like me sneezing for the whole entire time.
Insane,
and then the left side triggered my tear ducts. So then I couldn't stop, like, it was just like so much more than crying, right? It's like, it was like, I couldn't even see out my eyes. Just and then
vibrating those parts of your brain, dude.
Yeah. And then another part like made my, like my leg twitch. And then it was like really weird, and I didn't realize like on your head you have.
You told me
all
it wasn't that bad, and now you're telling me all these.
Well, no, it was like that was probably the worst of it. But as far as pain level, like it
was just like weird. It was like, okay, this is happening now. Like you're just like crying, like.
Yeah, it was strange. It was really, but like it's hard for me to, because I had most of my body covered before I got it.
And you've got way more painful tattoos where you're like, oh, compared to what was the worst one?
My neck. My neck was up there. My neck, and it's also, I think my thigh, I did my knee up to my stomach. You wouldn't think
that would be that bad.
But it's because I did 20 hours straight.
Okay, so
or
then
it was just right, or it was like maybe 15 or 16. I did 15 or 16 hours on both of my legs because I have both my thighs done.
Yeah.
But I'm a crackhead, and I decided to just do it in one shot.
Yeah.
Instead of, because I was actually, most of the artists that I work with.
Most of the artists are here in Connecticut or New York,
and I only have like a few guys guys in Vegas. So when I'm here, I'm like, all right, like I only have limited time, and I don't know when I'm going to be back.
I got one day, but like literally one day.
Right, right.
Like,
And
we make it work.
Yeah, like the leg, like it was. But yeah, no, my neck was the shortest run, like what, 3 hours?
Oh, he's so fast.
So they have a needle that the guy who did my neck, who's actually doing my head tomorrow. He has a blade called the blood shovel, and it sounds crazy, but it's I don't know, it's hundreds and hundreds of needles. It's this big, and he brushes with the tattoo. So instead of a little needle and drawing, that's how he just does his art. Is he brushes with the needle, and it is one of the most painful experiences. Which they say it's actually ironic. They say that more the needles, the less painful it is, because the small needles feel like a paper cut. You know how they say paper cuts hurt more than
like a cat scratch almost, like it just
cat scratches
over and
suck,
over.
yeah.
Right, but no, this hurt. This on my neck because you can't move, you can't breathe. So they tell you to hold your breath every time they go down. Your head is hanging off the table. And yeah, for however long, and it was excruciating. It was so bad. It was awful. Yeah. So
Savannah, I got a question for you.
Yes.
You guys got in trouble in Mexico?
Oh God, yeah, we did.
Whose fault was that?
Both of ours.
She's gonna blame the head tats.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame the head.
Well, tell me, give me the full rundown of the full story.
So we were on our way to Aruba, and we were flying out of New York. Our flight got delayed. We had a layover in Miami. We're in Miami, and we get to the gate as they're closing the doors and are watching our plane take off. So we're escaping a storm that's coming through Miami, like a tornado, something crazy, hurricane. So they redirect us to a layover in Cancun, Mexico, and then we would be on our way to Aruba after that. So we were working with a wellness resort in Aruba during when we were visiting. And so we decided that we were going to go full send for the wellness, and we were going to do yoga, meditation, everything. And we brought along CBD gummies with us.
Well, so like most hotels that we work with, it depends on the hotel, but most hotels want us to actually experience what guests are experiencing in order
so you guys can actually
create the content.
Authentically and know like what's going on and what
right.
you enjoyed and like you're like, oh, that was the best part. Let's highlight that.
Right.
Understood.
So little backstory of that. I can't relax. I can't like stop going, and I'm like go, and even like the hotels will give us massage sometimes as gifts. That's like a big hotel thing.
Yeah,
and
he's like getting up in the middle.
I get like
he's
panic attacks sometimes during massages.
I need water real quick. I need to check my phone. Like
right, I just feel like I just should be doing something. And anyways, so we decided because we don't smoke weed, and we don't do any drugs, but we wanted to, or actually, I think you kind of made a point where it's like, you need to relax, Chris.
Yeah.
And a glass of wine isn't doing it.
Yeah.
Let's get CBD for this trip.
Yeah. Let's do all the things. Like, let's meditate. We'll just try to go full Zen at this resort.
So go ahead. Sorry.
So we buy all these CBD gummies, and I think it was like $1,000 of CBD gummies, or
might have been more.
Something.
Yeah, like
15. You guys are like, this is not like a couple. This is.
We were there for a long time,
yeah.
and then I kind of like
there for a month.
Yeah, we were just like, all right, we're just gonna go all in and see if CBD like helps me like relax. Like
yeah,
I can take as many until I relax.
So we bought a lot, which is a little overkill, but we're just trying it all. Anyway, so we have our layover in Cancun, and we get off the plane. We're going to a hotel right across the street to sleep for maybe 3 hours, and then we have to get right back on the plane. We're walking through security, and Mexico or Cancun had their military police standing there. And they see us, and we have all our camera equipment with us in these big boxes.
The Pelican cases.
Yeah, military police hate cameras. I can
Oh
They
my
don't-
God.
And I think the Pelican cases definitely, because they didn't know they you can't see there's any cameras inside.
Yeah.
So they just look like gun cases, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty much identical.
Right.
If you,
Yeah.
you don't know what you're looking at.
Right.
We looked a little fishy, like, not gonna lie.
And I guess with the head
fishy.
tattoos, they just saw me and
Were you wearing
like,
sunglasses?
Yes, probably. Yeah, the whole thing. I'm wearing all black. I got a black hoodie over my head for sure. They just looked at us
looking like the Unabomber walking.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So they took one look at us and they're like, "You guys need to come over here. We need to check you out."
You guys are being randomly selected.
Right.
Yeah. So they pull us aside and they open up our suitcases. They find the CBD gummies
that have pot plants on them.
That have the pot plant on it.
No CBD or no THC in them.
Right. But
branding wise, it doesn't look good.
So Aruba allows
like,
CBD.
what is this?
Because there's like certain countries that don't allow CBD and certain countries that don't.
Where does Mexico stand on it?
Super
not
illegal.
allowed.
Super illegal. They look at it just
No
like weed.
form.
So it's like, they and with the amount we had, we had like tons of like $1,500 worth, right? Like boxes and boxes.
Like intent to sell worth? Like that? Like that's the way they would look at it?
Sure. Right. They're like, you're either, right. They're looking at us like,
this is not all for you.
No.
Yeah. right. Exactly.
And so we were trying to explain to them, like, we're not staying in Cancun, like we're leaving in 4 hours.
And
like,
they don't speak any English.
They didn't speak any English. So
the irony, you get this to prevent panic attacks and it's causing one.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Literally. Right.
So they search all our bags, they take all the product, and they basically, a guy comes over finally who speaks English, and he's basically like, look, either we take the product and you leave, or you're going to be detained.
Well, what started all that is when they opened it up, they found like $3,000 in cash with it.
That doesn't help your cause either, dude.
I was supposed to change it over for
you're hitting
Aruba
you're checking every
currency.
box there.
Right.
Pelican case, tattoos, glasses.
It's so funny because that was the day after I got the head tattoo. Because I got it the day before, remember?
Yeah.
Bandage on head. Like
right. It was, right. That was like a perfect storm, man.
Yeah.
And oh my God, yeah, like I think they had to bring somebody out to speak English to us. I'm pretty sure that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
They kept us in this tiny little room for a long time. Luckily, nothing came of it.
Do you remember what they said when they walked in?
Wait, say it again?
Like, would you remember what the person that spoke English said when they came in? Like their first line? Like,
it was, I don't know. I think he just like shook his head.
He just shook his head at us and he was
father.
like, look, here's the deal. Like, either get arrested
I feel like there's
or
a lot
don't.
of like opportunity for a nice one-liner from that guy.
I think they told him we had weed, and then it was like he came in after like, and then he noticed because I had to like, I don't even know if he knew what CBD was.
No, but we were trying to explain that.
Go on my phone. And
they just see the weed leaf.
I'm
They're
like,
just like, no.
Right. I'm like, I can't get high from this. Like, I literally can't. Like, maybe if I take,
buddy.
Right. Maybe if I take all $1,500 worth at one time, I will. But
God.
So, anyways, yeah. Like, so they ended up throwing it all away, which was
devastating. You're just
oh my God, yeah.
My investment, my lack of panic attacks.
I'm like, now I'm definitely not gonna relax this trip. But now it's gonna.
So wait, they let you. So the options they laid out, they're like, you either throw this out and you're good to go, or like you keep it and we're gonna arrest you.
Yeah, basically they were like, you're gonna get arrested for having a illegal substance in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then both of you guys, they were like, dude, like you know what I mean? They're just like,
both of us.
Yeah, because I think we couldn't fit all the CBD in one of my bags. It was like both our suitcases.
No. And then you want to know what the messed up part was?
Talk to me.
So we went to the hotel. We slept 2 hours at that point.
Oh, in Cancun, right? After that, we went to the hotel.
We went to the hotel.
Right.
Went back to the airport. Going through security, nothing. Absolutely nothing. They don't care.
So they have like a dinky little metal detector in Cancun.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's like there's no like not like I mean even like Europe. I guess Europe has the same sort. It's very lax, right? Like everything is very chill.
Yeah,
but,
it depends on where you are. But so we're leaving Cancun, go through security, no problems whatsoever. They barely check us, and we're on the flight, getting ready to leave, and we're telling this story to the guy next to us, and he's a local in Cancun, and he's like, wow, they really pulled you aside for that? Pulls out a switchblade out of his pocket, and he's like,
they just let me right in with this. And it was like, it wasn't like a normal switchblade. It was massive. Massive. I was like, how did you get on this plane? Like, there's like insane, like crazy. That was...
Yeah, cool. Well, the thing is, I think there's so many people going through like the TSAs always. They don't catch everybody, but I think they like, I don't know, from my experience, because I got stopped one time going through Cancun. And it was when I was very green to like, when I like, because I used to do a lot of stuff with Student City, which is like summer, what do they call, spring break, like company.
Okay.
And I I remember one time I brought my Ronin down and I like didn't know. They're like, "You're here to work?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am here to work." They're like, "Where's your paperwork?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, and I just sat in a room for like 50 minutes and they just let me go eventually. But I was just like, I don't know, like the entire time, just like. But the point is like, I could see them like, if there's an opportunity to make money, I don't think that they got like any money or anything, but I think like, you know, whether they're being protected, but I think there's I don't want to say they extort people, but like there's ways that I know people get paid and like,
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
They're like, oh, you pay this and you're good to go. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like,
and that's what I think. I'm glad they didn't take the money. I thought they were going to take the money. I was fully prepared for that.
I would have been sick to myself. They would have fought me in the airport. I would have actually gone to jail.
I don't even know what we would have done if they took our money for that trip, because that was the start of like a 5-month trip around Europe and like everything, right? So
it just wouldn't have been worth it.
No.
Honestly, it's never worth it. You know what I mean? It's like you're better off just taking the L and charging it to the game. But like
these guys were scary. I mean, these guys had full masks on their faces, like AR-15s.
Yeah, I'm not talking down to anybody with an AR-15.
No, it wasn't just like a police officer. I think like a police officer, I might have like tried to like push a little bit. These guys were like, and especially them not speaking English, they barely spoke to us.
Yeah, but like you were saying, we didn't want to end up in a Mexican jail.
Yeah, no. I think any jail that's not U.S. I don't want to end up in a U.S. jail, but like if you know, then there's another step of complication where it's like, all right, like you know, I don't even know how it works, but I just know. No one ever wants to end up in jail, but if you're going to be in jail, it better be your own country. You know?
100%, definitely, yeah. So crazy.
Well, I'm going to change a little bit. Like I know we talked a little bit about Warped Tour last time. Yeah. So when do you like? Are you here when you're doing Warped Tour? Like when did you guys connect in the timeline of things? I'm trying to figure this out.
So we connected in 2019, and so we're actually doing Warped Tour next week.
Let's
2
go.
weeks
This
from now.
is great news. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah. So we'll be shooting Warped Tour in 2 weeks, I think, right? In Long Beach.
Is Echo on that?
Long Beach, California.
Okay, sick.
It's Long Beach, Washington, D.C. already happened, and Orlando, Florida, which I think is November.
I'm glad that they brought it back, because wasn't there a thing where they were like getting rid of it for a little bit? It was sad to see it go.
I think it was gone for a while. I mean, I stopped participating in it in 2012 or 13, and then I think it went till maybe 16. So it's been a minute.
Like an artist I work with was on the 16 one.
Nice.
But
okay.
But no, I saw them do like a one-off show like here and there, but I'm glad that like it's coming back, because I think people love Warped. Honestly, they kind of left at the moment where it was like, yo, pop punk is like really coming back right now. Like this is probably your moment, guys.
Yeah, right. I mean, you know what? Honestly, it's funny because we work When We Were Young festival.
Yeah.
And then
is it a similar vibe, I'd imagine?
Yeah, but it's like
artists are like a lot of crossover.
I guess yeah, it is, because it's Warped Tour is a 2-day. I mean, they made it a Live Nation event. When We Were Young isn't. I don't know if When We Were Young is Live Nation.
I feel like anything that big gets Live.
Live Nation always has a piece of the cake.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because when they were doing When We Were Young was such a hit. Like the last 5 years or however long they've been doing it, that it sells out within seconds, right?
Yeah, I think Warped Tour started getting FOMO.
Warped Tour started getting FOMO, so then Warped Tour actually set up camp at a museum it's called the Museum of Punk Rock down the street from Vegas, and they were promoting people from When We Were Young outside the gates to come to the Punk Rock Museum to meet Kevin, who's I think his name's Kevin, the CEO
of Warped.
Yeah. Kevin Lyman. I think his name is Kevin Lyman, and they started promoting people to come meet him and do a meet and greet at this punk rock museum. So they were kind of like, hey, look, Warped's back. So on the billboards in Vegas during When We Were Young weekend, they had Warped Tour is back all over the strip.
Oh, that's sick.
And I definitely think When We Were Young was not happy about that, or maybe they didn't care because they do so well.
I was gonna say that, and it's interesting because I live in a time, or I think we live in a time where it's like, people are very competitive. They think there can only be one.
Yeah,
but that's really not the truth of the matter.
There's so much to go around, right?
It's like,
especially punk rock being nostalgic, and it's like, it's they do so many of these festivals that are like these throwback, and I just don't think they're hurting.
If people have more opportunities to go, I think people will definitely show up.
Oh, and they know they have a crossover market, so I'm sure they're in some capacity. I'm sure you go to When We Were Young and everyone's wearing Vans. You know what I mean? It's
for
like,
sure,
you know what I mean?
sure.
So it's like, and not like, I don't know. I just see there's I don't know, and how maybe that's something we could talk about too. When in your guys' industry, do you feel like there's a lot of competition, or is it like people helping people? Or both?
It's funny actually. We were gonna talk about this too.
Yeah. I think it really depends kind of regionally where we are.
It's definitely per area.
New York competitive. That's my guess.
New York is very competitive.
LA competitive.
Yes.
East Coast. Major.
Alabama not competitive.
right. That's why we moved to Vegas, because Vegas was so. Like, everybody just shares the pot.
Which is nice.
Oh, it's so nice. It's
but
refreshing.
I mean, there's so much work to do that there's always endless opportunities.
It wasn't, right, we weren't, it was more realistic to because Vegas it's such a big little city that there was so much work to go around, but there's not a lot of guys like us and just photographers and
I'd imagine it's probably a lot
freelancers.
less than like in LA and in New York by a
For
lot.
sure.
But I still think of Vegas as like a busy city, but like I guess when I think of Vegas, I don't think of like, oh, there's a great studio filming hub there. You know what I mean? But I know that the nightlife and that is the most insane in the world.
And really, I didn't know that, and I honestly thought the same thing until we moved there. And then we just started finding so many production studios. And then Warner Brothers was thinking about moving to Vegas. I don't know if they still are. Disney's coming in.
A lot of tax cuts there, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely a lot of jobs being provided too.
Yeah.
But I heard they pulled out recently because of some like
bureaucratic thing.
Yeah, like political zoning type of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
for one reason or another.
I think that I mean they and then Mark Wahlberg is also doing something there as well.
I feel like everybody's doing something there, dude. Like there's so much happening.
It's great, dude. It's moving a little bit too fast for me to like keep up. But the good thing is I'm not seeing, as far as like in our market, we're so insanely busy there. And like I said, I don't feel like a small fish in a big pond anymore.
No.
I feel like I'm still keeping up with the races. I was in LA for 7 years and I definitely was a small fish in a big pond there. I mean, I probably am still in Vegas in the term of things, but I like to think that I'm like still keeping up.
But there's
LA
still enough
felt like
food
I was
to go around in Vegas versus LA where you're
Everyone's
fighting
starving.
for every little piece, you know?
Right. Yeah. LA was definitely LA was tough. LA was a tough place to live, and it was a very as slow paced as that city was. It was very fast paced.
Well, how do you keep up in Vegas? You know what I mean? Because you mentioned how it's like growing so fast. Like, is there anything that you do, like, or just stay in the scene and just make sure that you're in the mix always, like with whatever's happening? Like, what do you do?
You just like it really just came down to like I mean, it's really just showing up, right, and meeting the people, the right connections,
Yeah, and that's probably the hardest part is just actually showing up. So we just go to the clubs, we go to all these events, try to get out as much as possible, just meet people.
It is hard. It's hard to do that. That's a grind itself, man.
Because those are some late nights.
I'm sure you can relate. Is like actually going, and it's like you don't know what it's gonna come out of, and it's like, especially going to a bar, going to this, like we're not big drinkers, we're not like, so it's like. It's like, man, like you already know, like if you go, you probably should have a glass of wine, or like you should do this or do that because you want to fit into the crowd. You don't have to.
You gotta play.
But,
but the thing is, like, to your point, it's like, one, you don't know until you go. You always got to go.
For
and
sure.
You know, I even shared with you guys, don't know if you go situation prior to this. You know what I mean? Where it's like, that don't know if you go situation could change your life. And then also to the drinking part of it, it's like, I don't drink, but I understand that it's like, it's part of, you got to be able to hang. If you can't hang, nobody, like, I always say this to people, like, you could be the best photographer in the world. You could be the best creative in the world. If you are terrible to hang around, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You could, like, honestly, you could be half as good as what you are, but you're a great hang, you're probably more likely to get the gigs.
No, right, and that's a good point, right? So it's like you're saying sober, like we have a lot of, honestly, our sober friends are the most fun that we have.
They're the craziest friends we have.
But they have
Let's go sober friends.
Right, they have to keep up somehow. But it's honestly like, because I know some people that do drink that go to the events that they are just the most boring. They'll just sit in a corner and they just won't conversate with anybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you don't. Why?
And it's always person to person.
It is for sure.
You know what I mean?
Without
But
doubt.
huzzah for our sober friends.
What sober is. It's actually that's coming into relation with the alcohol companies that we photograph. Is sober is new wave.
Yeah.
People are becoming sober more and more, and the drink companies that we work with, and we'll dive into that later.
Actually, that's kind of where I was going, because you started with product photography with Hive.
Yeah, that was like our first real run, for product photography for just drink hospitality.
Yeah, for drink campaigns and just branding.
How did that all come to be?
So we did a campaign with
Celsius.
Celsius,
Oh,
right?
amazing. Shout out Flow Rider, right?
Yeah.
My God, dude. Got that $80 million check. Like, he's,
I forgot.
Yeah, dude,
That's crazy. But you just brought me back. Yeah, I forgot. I saw that on TV.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like, I mean, dude he already had it made. He had all the hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like, he's like, watch this real quick.
Right.
You know what I mean? But my bad. I don't mean to.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
No, we were like photographing the Gronks, right? We worked with the Gronks.
There was like a big beverage convention that whole weekend, and
fun
Celsius,
family, by the way.
The
family. The Gronks are fire. They're so fun.
They're all huge. All of them are 6-7 feet tall.
Oh yeah, that boy was in the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Gron's probably the smallest one, actually.
That's
she could have played in the league. I mean, they're like but they're just, you could just tell they're Gronks. Like they all look
a Gronk, dude.
they all look identical.
But they were all like having a great time, like just hanging out, like a little goofy.
Yeah.
So the whole family seemed like a lot of fun.
I feel like when you get to like certain of these levels, like, you know, all you gotta do is enjoy life. You know, it's like, and you find, like, for the most part, I find that some of the most successful people are always the most chill, because they're not like all. Because I find the people like that end up holding themselves back sometimes are the ones that are like micromanaging, and like, not to say that every not like successful person is like not like that, but it's just like, you know, sometimes if you just let life happen and trust people, it'll actually benefit you going further.
Right.
Yeah.
At least from my experience, what I've seen.
No, definitely. I mean, life is too short as it is. You can't take yourself so seriously all the time.
No, I think they then it just shows. It just shows through their business. It shows through how they are in person. If you get the chance to meet them,
and people want to see them more because of that.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Anyway, so we were at the Celsius event, and we ended up meeting this guy who does marketing on the sides of trucks.
Shout out to Chava, CEO in Motion. He has you're actually on his podcast, but he has an advertising billboard, digital billboard company.
Yeah.
That he puts, the billboards you see on the side, Coca-Cola on the side of 18-wheelers. That's what he does.
Super inspirational.
Digital ads too, right? But he got us that contact with Hive.
Yeah. So he started partnering with Hive, and then we were brought in as the marketing team, and he goes, I love your photos. I want to give you guys a chance to do this product photography. And we had never really worked with cans before.
We've done product, but we don't promote it, right? We do editorial stuff, and then we do travel stuff, and it's all like lifestyle, like it wasn't product, like I said, except for like maybe at a hotel we shoot like the products of like a cocktail there, right?
So we've done jewelry, and it's kind of the same sort of thing where you have to watch out for the shine of the jewelry.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, man.
You got to shoot in like one of the white boxes or whatever they are, and like kind of through it. Like, I don't know.
Or like
in a controlled room at least.
You have to shoot with, scrims. It's I went to school for photography for 10 months, and we learned how to photograph silverware, which is like the hardest. They say it's the hardest
because of all the reflections and everything.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass. But that's how we kind of learned from it. So you have to buy scrims, and you have to basically, you put them in a big white box, right? We did that a lot with the product photography, but it was kind of our first time like actually doing that style, like full on creative, cans exploding and just and I felt like when we first did it, it came to us naturally, which I was really surprised. Usually it takes me a while, like when I learn something new to dive into, but with this, it felt like
our apartment was a mess, though.
Oh, I know that.
Sticky.
I know that exact.
We were throwing cans in the air, throwing fruit in the air, like trying to get that perfect shot, splashing the drink all around.
That's actually worse than what I had going on. Like liquids just make everything worse,
Yeah.
Like right off rip.
It made it fun though, because the company was like very like drink them, like don't let them go to waste, and
so the non-alcoholic ones were fine, but when we were shooting the alcoholic ones, we were like, oh, well, we don't want this to go to waste.
Our eyes were crossing on like the 8th drink, like photographing it.
Well, you know what? An interesting part that I'd love to talk about a little bit, because you just said that you were doing it in your apartment, and you know, like one of my bigger gigs I did was in like just a room. I did like the paper animation for French Montana.
Yeah.
And I completely destroyed one of my rooms putting that video just because the timeline, I was like, you don't even have time to clean. You just got to like
Keep going.
But the point I want to talk on is that like you can do a lot from your own place.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people might think like, oh, like I need this fancy studio. I can't get started because I don't have, you know what, maybe this is a great segue into this, dude. What's one mistake that creatives make that prevents them and holds them back?
Thinking you need fancy equipment for everything.
Definitely.
Thinking you need the next biggest thing or the next like best camera.
We've
whatever the case.
We've done $10,000 jobs on $5 Amazon lights.
Yeah.
We've done the biggest like projects in a little like miniature, you know, studio apartment. You know, in the back corner, right?
And I love that you say this, because I'm sure there's a creative out there that might be tuned in and he's listening and he's like, man, if only I'd start only if I got this camera. I'd start only if I had this microphone.
Yeah.
I'd start, you're holding yourself back because
Right.
you think you need all these things, but really, you know, when you really look into it, Steve Lacy recorded his hit album on his iPhone. You know what I mean?
I didn't know
like,
that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, insane.
Kanye, who we don't talk about anymore, but like he recorded a music video on an iPhone.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
The point I'm trying to get to is like anything flies out here.
I
in
don't
the
know
jungle.
why
If
that
it works, it works.
I don't know why that became so like normalized that it was like that we needed this big production. You're right, because you do see like this stuff that's happening that's more manageable, like the iPhone music video stuff like that.
Well, I mean, even just 28 years later, that just came out. Wasn't it also shot on
They
an
did
iPhone?
shoot a bunch
Shit
on
on
an
an
iPhone.
iPhone.
Well, that's
Yeah.
and to my point exactly. You know, one of my biggest viral moments is me going like this. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right,
just
right.
filming on my phone. You know,
Yeah.
I have all the equipment that I could ever want or ever need. And it's like, but that's not, sometimes it's not what the project calls for too.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe we could segue into that. It's like, how do you guys determine what a project calls for? You know what I mean?
That's a really good question. I mean, like, I really think it becomes from chaos and just history. You know, maybe you can blend that together, but a lot of
Learning
history
curves.
of just knowing what works and doesn't. I think that's to my benefit for sure.
Yeah, we always have kind of standard equipment that we bring with us in case we need it.
Of
So
course,
like
yeah.
flashes or you know, gimbals,
Monitors,
monitors, LED lights, just random things like
Of course,
that.
and you guys are at a point where there's also an expectation. Like if someone books you for a $10,000 gig and you pull up with the iPhone, like there might be kind of a vibe where they're like, "Yo, what the hell?"
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you could argue it's like, you guys like my work, right? You hired me because you like my work. Like,
Yeah.
it's all on this bad boy. But at the same time, like there's a look to it, you know.
It's
what I mean?
it's funny, like-
it actually goes hand in hand because you don't need like all this crazy extra equipment in order to make a great product. But at the same time, there is a level of professionalism that we have to combat with as well, where sometimes we do show up and even we might not necessarily need it. But in order to showcase our professionalism, we have the whole monitor and like the extra battery.
I don't even
pack
say
and,
it's
like, things like that.
professionalism. I just think it's there's two different type of clients. There's one client that is paying for the outcome, and then there's another client that's paying for the experience of the shoot. I mean, and I think the outcome comes hand in hand with the experience of the shoot, but they're more concerned about how it looks. In case they do behind the scenes. I mean, that happens all the time for us.
That's true.
Some people don't even care about the outcome. They
No.
just want the glitz and glamour, and they want the big rigs, and they want the big cameras, and I'll bring everything we have out for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
but
the look of doing it and posting that sometimes is better marketing than actually posting what the product is. Like what? Like
I guess I just
I've
think
seen a
like
mix of both. You
It
know what I
came. I mean, it originally stemmed from like I think rappers and like working with musicians, but specifically rap music, and a lot of the artists that I used to work with from the beginning, like always loved just showing off in a sense, like showing the production off and just showing where the money went, and like I said, not just the outcome, but
Ballin'.
yeah, right.
A lot
like
of the
it's
time
just-
too, and I see like nowadays with social media, sometimes the behind the scenes clip will go more viral than the actual video, where it's
Right.
like,
Yes,
you know what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
the game is like changed, like, and what people think is the thing is probably not the thing, and the thing they're like, wait, what? That's the clip that's doing great for us right now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What's one of the best performing clips that you guys have ever had that you guys like worked on, and you were like, oh my god, this is this is moving?
An iPhone video that I took on my phone of the outside of a plane, like just watching the clouds go by.
Proving my point in real time. Proving my point in real time.
Yeah, I had a video hit 20 million a few months ago. Of just maybe a year ago now. No, a few months ago.
Washing your hands and
I had this idea, and it got to the point where Sonic the Hedgehog.
You got to explain this all to me. All I heard was washing your hands, 20 million views. That's all we got right now.
It's a video of me like. You know how like they say like if you put water on your phone and it starts doing weird stuff.
Yeah,
it's a video of me washing my hands.
Like I know what you're saying.
Like,
and it'll like the screen will move into like whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
It's like a screen recording.
And I took this video and it's water going on my phone and it buys a plane ticket and it hit 20 million. That was like the first real.
You shot that on your phone?
She shot on her phone of me. Right. And.
Nothing's real and nothing matters.
10-second video.
Nothing matters.
I had Google reach out about it. I had Sonic the Hedgehog did a whole campaign around it.
When you say Sonic the Hedgehog, you're talking about the movie franchise, or are you talking about like what do you mean? Like elaborate on that, dude. Like what do you mean? Like Sonic himself? He's like, yo.
The mascot of the movie, I guess he has his own I'm actually not sure. I know it's a mascot of the movie.
What does Sonic the Hedgehog say to you, dog?
Sick, bro. I think they asked maybe they asked about it.
Would you do a video like going to buy a ticket for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
You know what happened is he copied us. He copied it and then I reached out and then they responded because
you're like, great idea. I wonder who came up with that, dude.
Right. A few people copied it, but he was like one of the bigger ones to copy the video to a T.
Yeah. No, but that that in social media, that's all it is. It's monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, right. Like, and I wasn't like, oh man, like screw you, Sonic. Like it was just like cool. Like, but I think I reached out and because a lot of people were like commenting, like give Chris credit and under the post.
Yeah.
And I reached out and I think at the time I was like, yeah, like you could put. And I don't know. I think at the time I was
at least give me free tickets to the movie. Like,
like something.
Yeah, something
but at the
dude.
time I was like, that's so stupid. But yeah, it was crazy.
I love the idea of you beefing with Sonic the Hedgehog, dude.
Oh, dude, I think that could really play out well for if I just like start this ongoing beef. Maybe I should like post a reaction video.
I'm very pro like beefing big corporations, dude. Like if anyone else tries to clean a Macy's, though, I'm definitely commenting below that. I'm gonna be like, yo, great idea, dude.
Yeah, like, wonder where you got
it's
that
like my
from.
whole thing right now, dude. But yeah, no, so that was like, but to my point, it's like sometimes you just never, like when you posted that, you're like, oh, this is funny. Like, I'm sure this will do some numbers, but did you expect 20 million, dude?
No, not at all. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you did the clouds, it's like, yeah.
Honestly, when I thought of the idea,
you're like, yo, this is a fucking slapper, dude.
Yeah, it's just one of those things I was like, I know it was going to catch, but how much is it? But there's obviously.
But it definitely caught more than what you thought it would catch, right?
For sure.
No way you were like, yo, Savannah, look at this. Right. 20 million views, just give it a day.
Right. Yeah. I think, but yeah, there's definitely been other videos. I was like, this is going to slap. Like, this is definitely going to go viral. And it got like 5,000 views. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you've experienced the same thing, right? Like,
yeah, well, so it's like kind of like me with the Macy's thing, dude. I like put the video up, just filmed it, like 500,000 views overnight. And then it like kind of trickled and kept going up. And like the more and more people got outraged that Macy's did nothing to help out.
Yeah.
The better the video
to help boost it, yeah,
so,
right. So,
I always say, like, it's a tricky thing because, like, I'm glad we were able to get it done on our own. But, like, I don't want to say Macy's not helping was one of the better things for it. But, like, I don't think it would have got the legs that it would have had. That, like, if Macy's just helped out and got done, I think that would have just been that. But the fact that it was, like...
It could have just gotten lost. I mean, right? Like, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So, like, but I don't know. Like, the point I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not happy that Macy's didn't help, but them not helping low-key changed my life. So it's like, selfishly, I'm like, thank God.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But then on like a, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, the right thing to do would have like to make sure like everyone got paid properly.
You would have been super ill as if like JCPenney hit you up and helped fund the Macy's cleanup.
Bro.
Like,
honestly, dude,
ill, sick,
that's crazy, dude.
Insane.
Dude, yeah.
That insane.
They probably would have done it too because that's hilarious. But the thing is, we also needed Macy's permission to get it clean, so they would have just been like, all right, you're taking it too far. This is where we draw the line.
Right. Yeah, that's that.
So you know what? I'm going to talk, like, on the flip side, you know, we kind of just talked about like a really successful moment. Like, what's one of the hardest shoots that you guys have done?
I think, like, man, there's been a lot, right? A lot of hard
Savannah, what's the first one that comes to your mind? I feel like...
Well, it's one we did recently, but I don't want to.
No, it's okay. We
talk about that.
That makes sense, so we'll keep it pushing.
Oh, the rewelding?
Yeah.
It was tough. It was, it's something that we...
Can you say it without saying it? Is it one of those things? Like, or like it would...
Yeah, we can actually talk about it, but it gets a little bit, you
don't need to get specific.
Right. So we were hired for the shoot where essentially we had to throw a house party. And we had to find 50 models, catering, a DJ, a location, another videographer, everything for this house party. Within 2 days. And
it's a lot for 48 hours.
And they have like specifics of like what kind of models they want.
In Vegas, yeah. And so we also had to do the contracts, we had to do the budgeting, everything, you know, a lot. So it was a crazy week.
One of the most hectic shoots I've ever done.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And things that we didn't even consider that were happening was like in the middle of shooting, my cameras kept dying because it was so hot out.
I know that struggle. That's a terrible struggle.
They wanted the requirements of the video is like you have to do like a full 1 hour video like nonstop of this pool party happening, and it was just like I've never done something like that. Not a full. Actually, it's 2 hours. Technically 2 hours.
Yeah.
But 1 hour, I could take the break on the second. Like you can pause it on the first hour. So it's 2 separate 1 hour videos. And we've never done anything like that before. Not for a full strict like 1 hour. And we had a few other cameramen on it, but because of the factor of the heat in Vegas, and it just completely like.
I've been there before. What a terrible moment it is when there's like. You're just like, oh, there's literally nothing.
There's nothing.
The camera's got to cool down. You're like, look, yo, where's the fridge? Where's the fridge? Like, you're freaking out. So what'd you guys end up doing?
So thankfully we had the second videographer and he was able to shoot while my camera was down, but his was doing the same thing. So we would kind of switch off. He would be outside shooting for a little bit. I'd run inside, try to ice my camera real quick, put it in the fridge. No, I know
and this struggle,
same thing for his. Like we would just
give me flashbacks to Atlanta.
It's like one of those things where it's like this wasn't a project that we would normally take on, but we would or even shoot it. Sometimes we would just send our guys out to go do it.
Yeah, and then we put would everything else together.
We were pushed into a time crunch for the 2 days, and it was also a new company. So we didn't, usually with a new company, I want to be like hands-on with it first and kind of get a feel and you know, especially because they're hiring me for the work that you know, we produce, right? That might have not been our other contacts, right?
It all ended up working out in the end?
It worked out in the end.
It did. It was just
not the way that you like wanted to go about it.
Yeah, right.
And it ends up being more work because then you got to cut it all together. It's like, I get it.
We had to make a lot of like moves because it's like, how do you do a 1 hour video when you don't have an hour of footage? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And it took a lot of like just really like finalized touching and very detailed like. It was just a lot of finessing, right? They were super happy with it. So
they were happy with it.
That's the most important thing. And like because I think this is very important because, you know, I'm sure there's somebody who is going to get into their own gig that's like listening and, you know, things happen. Shit happens. You know what I mean? Like it's inevitable. If you're in this game, it's inevitable that something's going to go wrong at some point. Yep. And like how you adapt to deal with it is exactly that. You know, like I've had situations like, have I ever lost footage? I don't know if I've ever lost footage, but I know there have been times where something didn't go according to plan, and I've just had that tough conversation where it's like, you know, it's like, yo, like I know we planned on this, but like, it just didn't hit. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, and most of the time I feel like I don't remember ever leaving a shoot where I was just like, oh man, we're screwed. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, you know, I think just to the point of like communication is what I'm trying to get to. It's like sometimes like if you're just able to communicate well, like, you know, people will, you know, they'll be more open to it. And then also like, if you know what you're doing and you're floating, like, you know how to make up for things.
And that's why I never got into like, that's why I stopped doing wedding photography was exactly that reason. I didn't want to be also put in a position where like, you only have like that 1 second to get the shot.
It's never appealed for me for the exact same reason.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're put in positions sometimes like that, but very rarely. I don't remember the last time I was in a position where I had like only like 5 seconds to get something, or it was do or die.
All right, kiss the bride. Camera's overheating. You're just like,
right. And weddings are like that, and we're actually shooting a wedding for a friend, which I haven't shot a wedding in a decade.
It's gonna be in October though, so it'll be
cooler.
For sure.
Yeah, it'll be Savannah's first wedding, because it's something that he wanted me specifically. So we're doing a favor for somebody, and it'll be good. It'll just be.
You're really selling the wedding experience, though. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you should be.
No, have you been to a wedding ever?
No, I've been to weddings,
that's what I was saying, but like never
like,
as a shooter.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's a whole different. It's very. It's a grind, dude. I give.
You'll
a lot
eat
of
well.
respect to,
You will definitely eat well that day.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
I give a lot of respect to wedding videographers and photographers, dude. That is
that's
tough
stressful.
business.
Oh yeah, I mean it's good money for those that are in it, but
For sure.
it's just like
It's stressful.
It takes a certain type of somebody. Yeah.
And especially like you're busy for like what? 4 straight months in a row, essentially, because most a lot of people
they all happen back
are
to back to back to back.
Well, right, yeah, that's exactly right. It's and then you just lay in bed probably for the whole winter because
decompress.
You just never slept in the whole the entire summer.
Yeah, no, when you guys like got into all of this, like, was there like a dream gig of yours that both of you were like, we really want to do that? And if so, like, what was that? You know what I mean?
A dream gig?
Yeah, like something that you were like, oh, like I really want to do this, or like, was there something that you sought out to make happen?
Yeah, I think like us kind of just. Oh, I don't know. It kind of.
I say we had a goal in mind for ourselves as far as like clientele level that we wanted to do. For the hotel industry, at least, like editorial is a little different, but for the hotel industry, that we had a goal for ourselves where we said, all right, by this time we're going to be working with this hotel, or we're going to at least get in touch with this hotel and get our foot in the door. And that actually happened very recently.
Yeah, can we talk about the hotel that we worked in California? Do you know?
Might be too soon.
With Pacifica Hotels.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
So we did a campaign for Marriott up in Paso Robles, California. Actually, during the same month as the engagement, we did I did the proposal up in California. But that was a larger scale. Just I think because of the size of the company, I've worked on more. We've worked on more in-depth projects for hotels, but this one was probably scale-wise. I mean,
Marriott is like cream of the crop as far as hotels.
Oh yeah,
they're everywhere.
And they're very specific with requirements.
How they want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd imagine because they do have like, when I think of them, like it's a pretty consistent branding. You know what I mean? I've seen like, I don't know exactly how to describe it in my head, but it's like every time I've seen it, it's kind of like the hand holding in a grassy kind of walkway. You know what I mean? It's like.
It was very, like I said, even down to the music that we can post on the reels, exactly what they wanted us to post.
Is that easier or harder? Because is it easier because they know exactly what they want, or is it harder because it gives you no creative freedom and it's not as fun?
It's definitely easier, but it's just kind of like, okay, like
they give them exactly what they asked for, no creative input. It's kind of
they said here's 10,
it's just a job.
Here's here's 20 songs. Pick a song and post it.
Yeah.
We were treated as an influencer for that, which we're not influencers. I would say I don't really think. I mean, we still promote on Instagram but we're content creators, right? I mean, we do professional marketing for hotels and media marketing, and I don't say we don't have the following to be a influencer per se,
right?
But that's actually why they hired us under an influencer contract.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier the way they work it out in their heads too, or like the way the company, like, oh, we have this budget for an influencer, not a content creator, but like,
it's all just logistics.
Yeah, I've seen people work out weird deals where it's like, you could have it, you know what I mean? But you gotta be, but today you're the security guard, you know what I mean? It's like, you're a security guard with the camera, you know what I mean? But, I want to talk to you about like you guys, about how you guys complement each other is what I'm trying to get to. It's like, like how do you guys delegate responsibilities? Like who does what in your eyes, you know what I mean? Is there one that's better at something than the other? Somebody better at scheduling? Is somebody better at, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like there's got to be like a yin to yang in this situation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No. I basically burn the whole world down, and you're very carefully.
Chris is definitely the creative, and he'll just start shooting ideas out about projects and plans and things like that. And I'm the one who goes, okay, like let's sit down and talk about it. We need to do step 1, 2, 3 before we get to ABC, you know, one of those sort of things.
Yeah, before we met, I didn't really know much about, you know, the actual business side to it. But not just business side, but just like the very careful steps that you need to take owning a business like this, especially us going into a media marketing. You know, I was just a photographer, basically before I met you. Now it's like we have a full team and, you know, we're getting to that next, that big, you know, next level. So yeah, no, I think we definitely we found the right, because it wasn't like we were both the same in that sense, right?
No, we would have gone crazy.
So it's like, it's a good balance then. Yeah. You know what I mean? What's that sick?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what was like one of the first moments where you're like, oh, we got like a good flow going on here, and you're like, you know what I mean? Or like maybe a moment of teamwork where you guys like kind of celebrating, like, yo, we really did that.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot, right?
There's been quite a few. Yeah. Because I feel like each project is just getting more and more intense. So
we did our first major project was traveling around the country shooting photographing shoes. Yeah, that was our first major project, and we hit I don't know, it was like 15 states, something like that.
Yeah, and we had to coordinate with each other, just even like planning wise, because we had to set up the shoots with the stores where the shoes were located, and then we had to book the hotels and plan food and how long travel time.
But just the SKUs alone of the shoes, we had to make sure we didn't shoot the same shoe at the next location.
Keeping track.
And then we drove like 10 hours a night or every other day, sometimes to a different state, because of course the states were never close to each other.
Nope.
So we did like, you know, Vegas to Denver, Denver to Texas. Those are all like
Talk
15
about
hours
the
away
worst
from each
drive
other.
in the world. Have you done that?
Oh,
like
I've
the
done
north of Texas?
Denver to Texas is like one of the most awful, like going through Mexico and like the tip of Texas. And
I've done so many brutal drives. Well, that's like, it's funny, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this. Someone be like, oh, I gotta drive 3 hours. You're like, that ain't
That's
shit.
nothing.
You're like, you don't even know what you're talking about, dude.
Right.
Like,
it really depends on where, right? So it's like, that drive is awful because you don't hit any civilization for literally majority of the drive.
Yeah.
And then also Vegas to Denver is a really beautiful drive, but it's still the same thing once you go through Utah and in Colorado for the most part. You don't hit any
cell service mad spotty. The gas
No
stations
gas.
are the only food.
And gas stations are
100 miles apart.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's where I really don't like that. Especially, and then if you have none, like no service, you know, no cell service, or the gas station's not until another 3 hours from you.
Yeah, it's brutal, and it just keeps everybody on edge, because it's like, you know, you're having a good time for the most part, driving, just getting through it, but in the back of your head, you're just like, at any moment we could run out of gas, and we are just stuck here, with no way to get out.
The best drive though, like, because we've done most of the country at this point. So we do every other month. My parents live down in Charleston, so sometimes we'll fly down there, and then we'll actually drive up to Connecticut for work, and it's about what is it, a 15-hour drive?
No, not even.
It's like
we usually hit it at like the sweet spot. We leave here at like 2 p.m. or something.
And it gets us in the next day before 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Just about. But anyways, that drive is awesome because it is like there's always civilization. There's always an exit at the gas station. Like, you know, that's sweet, right? Even so, we could do 15. We'll do that in one go. But you know, maybe a 3-hour drive from, you know, like in the middle of the desert probably feels like forever because there's just nothing. It's just a really awful drive.
So boring. And that drive through Texas, they had like the oil rigs or whatever in the background.
With the wind turbines.
The wind turbines, and it was just these flashing red lights, thousands of them, for miles, and it was starting to trip me out.
At 4 a.m. It was crazy.
I was freaking myself out because I'm like, oh God, like what's going on? Nothing's getting closer. It's not getting further away. Like, where am I? So that was awful. And then there was also another point where the road was so dark. I saw a tarantula walking across the road on the highway in Texas. And I didn't know if I was hallucinating or not. So I had to pull over
and
just like...
It was the size of like a mini dog.
It was you!
Oh, yeah.
So
it was massive.
You couldn't have got me to pull over. You know what I mean? I would have been so scared. Well, but if there's nothing else going on, maybe it would have been fun to look at for a second.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about
I drove on for a little while, but after a bit, I was like, I need to pull over and just like stare at the stars real quick because I'm just
Well, we didn't know what it was at first, right? It was just so massive, and I was like, "What?" You know, it's like
the worst is when you see something and you're like, "I don't know what the hell that was."
Yeah.
I had one of those there, and I was looking at it might have been 2 nights ago. I was just watching TV with my girlfriend Sarah, and there was like this big like yellow beam of light that came across the sky, and I was just like, I didn't say anything about like for the first 30 seconds, and then I was like, did you see that? And she's like, you saw that too? I was like, yeah. We both saw it at the corner of our eyes. So I was like, what was that? She's like, I don't know. And that was that. You know what I mean? But like when you see something you can't explain, like
you just let it go sometimes. You're just like, it's past my pay grade, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
but I can imagine like going up to like all those red lights as you're driving up, like just like, what the hell? What am I looking at? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it was like, that was like hard. That was hard to ignore because it's like, it just lasted like an hour. And it was like, we didn't know at the time that the wind turbines turned red. And then we started actually noticing it more and more in the Midwest and in the West Coast. So super trippy. Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about content creation in general too. Like what's something that like people might not know? Because like, for example, I know with ice cream sometimes and products, they'll use mashed potatoes, you know what I mean? So there's like a lot of like, I don't want to use the word tomfoolery or tricks or like, you know, fakeness. Like, you know what I mean? Like what's something about like content creation that you guys like have noticed and maybe something fake about it?
That's a good question. You want to do this one?
Name something fake about it?
Yeah, or like something that like people wouldn't know or think about.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Something that's a little bit more, you know, more than meets the eye. I guess because we haven't really dived into. I mean, there's always like, you know, it was just content creation in general with like hotels. It's like we have to be very pristine and depending on the project, right? But you know, very careful about you know, we'll wake up. I don't know if this kind of hits the same category, but will wake up at 6 a.m. and catch sunrise, but we have to make it look at like it's 2 p.m. because the beach is empty.
I see what you're saying.
Or sunset, you know.
Right. So that's where I can say I don't want to say it's fugazi or it's fake because it just
really happened, but it's like it's only like happens for like a period of the day. Like you know what I mean? This isn't the 24 hours of like what it is. So it's like, I mean, you basically kind of adapt your schedule to get the best shots to help sell the thing, which I don't think is fake, but it's like, I see what you're saying. Like, if that's the image they're promoting, it's like, you know, it's like, that's 20 minutes of the day. You know what I mean? But it's a sick 20 minutes, you know, so.
I think, I mean, there's definitely been projects that we add stuff in that I mean, like our whole part of the job is selling it to make it, you know,
kind of like exaggerate it a little bit.
Kim Kardashian's butt. You know what I mean? I get it.
It's you know, it's just a little.
It's everywhere.
It's
you know,
tuning, fine tuning.
Yeah,
you know?
like and I don't think like I don't know. What do you guys think on that in general? Actually, because
her butt.
No.
Surgery?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian's butt. Like no, but I'm talking more just about like. You know, the Photoshop and like everything in products, like, you know, it's part of the game and it like makes things look better, but I don't think it like changes the product like crazy. That's what I'm saying. Cause I feel like people get like, you know, they'll be like, oh, I'm tired of the Photoshop. And I'm like, you know, it's just presented nicer. It's still the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're still showcasing the product, and it's as long as it's not like changing anything else. Like you're not changing a banana into a strawberry and saying that it's something different.
You're just making that banana look perfectly ripe.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the whole thing with AI, right? I think a lot, you know, there's a big. A lot of people are very against AI when it comes to media and media marketing.
We should talk about AI.
We should. I'm fully down because we're using a lot of AI in our stuff.
What type of like? What do you like? How do you use it?
We use it in our advertisement. I mean, our campaigns. We're like adding. Now we don't do full AI. It will actually depends because we've done some like VFX AI campaigns where you know you can definitely tell it's like photo. It's a mixture of a bunch of stuff because we never just use AI. We use a program called Blender. We'll use Photoshop. We'll use parts of AI in it.
Use it as a tool.
We use it as a tool, and we like to just kind of like a puzzle piece. You just kind of put little bits and pieces of all these programs together to make the outcome of what we need. And yeah, we've done it for a bunch of stuff. I mean, even for example, like, you know, we're not using Adobe stock as much anymore. Like when we need a commercial for something like
because you can create something completely that somebody else doesn't have through AI.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like a super close up shot of like a strawberry, like seeds.
Like it's not the
example.
exact same one that everyone's using that's on Adobe stock.
Right.
Right. We're using Google VO. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
VO.
Oh, I know VO.
Yeah. We're having a lot of fun with VO right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very pro AI, and I know there's a lot of people that are anti AI.
Yes.
But it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't want to say it's like inevitable, but I mean, people are always against the new thing. You know what I mean?
For
sure.
It's like
People are exactly. Like what was the 2000s? They thought the computers were going to crash. I don't know.
It's the internet. People are against the internet. You know what I mean?
Right. Everybody's anything new, like you said, is always going to be.
It's going to get pushback. You know,
scary until people realize it's really not going to take everybody's job.
Right.
I'm not and you can dive. There's so much controversy around it, but I truly don't believe that AI is going to replace me.
Oh, I don't think. Well, because I think people also like crave, interaction. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and also just like doing things. You know what I mean? Because there's things that you can do, like you guys can do, that a computer never can. You know what I mean? Well, at least as far as I'm thinking right now. You know what I mean?
Well, and for example, my mother owns a super successful
medical billing
collections, and she is constantly being battled by programs like robot programs. And she is so successful past most of these programs because it's the human interaction, right?
Oh, people could see through it and just like, we're calling for Chris Fulcher.
Right. Think about it. When you like call a company, you want to talk to somebody in the phone and get right to it. You don't like, the worst is dealing with a robot and,
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Right.
Can you say it again?
Right. I'm just sitting there pressing 0 until somebody gets it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly think that like you said, human interaction, I mean, who knows? Who knows in a few hundred years what's going to happen, but
won't matter to us.
It won't matter to us, right? And I think in our lifetime, I think like, and I'm trying to stay ahead of it, like we're incorporating in our work. I'm trying to, like I said, it's a useful program. I think more people should be.
But I feel like it's the same thing with social media and how there was this initial backlash with social media, like
always,
all the time. And people are saying that, oh, well, it's just rotting your brain. And it's like, no, we're actually using it as a tool as well to promote ourselves and promote our product and what we offer.
And if you're not embracing it, you're late.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I mean? Like
it made our work smoother. It made stuff that wasn't realistic.
Yeah.
And it made it safer. Like we talked about this on another podcast about
the fire.
Like fire. So we play with fire and honestly like most of my work, I didn't use any Photoshop. I was known as not using Photoshop, and I was always doing exaggerant work, putting people in pools and setting stuff on fire, breaking glass. And now I don't have to do that anymore. Like we've had accidents happen on set where, I've had somebody literally leave, not a client, but somebody that I was working with have third-degree burns in their hand from lighting a smoke grenade. That I just wanted smoke in the background. Now I can put it in there with using AI and generative fill on Photoshop.
And get the exact same result.
Even better sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like, I don't understand the whole like hate, like as far as, like I get it. Like I do understand photographers being against it, but it's like, it's pointless in its own way.
I guess it really depends on what your goals are. You know what I mean? Because I see the only people that would get angry are like purists or like people that don't even know how to use it. Those are the two people like, you know what I mean?
Or the older generation. I mean, you always see it, right? The older generation is always going to be, I guess I'm becoming the older generation, but I don't,
and I don't associate it as like an age thing, dude. I like, cause you think for majority, yes. You know what I mean? But I think it really is like on a personal, because I think people like will embrace it. And I think because of how the internet and social media is, you find people of like all different ages being able to create a platform and, maybe excited to learn about these things and embrace them. So, but the big thing, it's like, for me personally, I'll never be late again. You know what I mean? I was late on TikTok. I was late on.
Oh, me too.
You know what I mean? I was late on
everything
prior to TikTok. I was late. You know what I mean? The second everything comes out, like Threads, I was on it first day. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's some whatever Threads followers I have.
Right.
The edits app for Instagram, I was on that the first day. And
it's funny you say that because your stuff, you know how like the algorithm on Instagram, it's like you don't see half the people that you follow pop up. For you, every time you post using the Instagram edits
app, I know what I'm doing,
get a notification.
Oh yeah, dude. I've never not posted on the edits app for all my reels since it came out. You want to know the first video I posted on my edits It was the Macy's video that did 500,000. I literally posted it, edited
really?
completely in the app. And
Sick.
Bro,
Yeah,
like,
that's a nice.
I think,
that's a
well,
game
because
changer.
I mean, for just anybody listening, it makes sense to me where it's like Instagram is going to push their tools. How did, like, if you see, you know, someone's videos are doing a lot of views with their tools, you're going to be like, oh, maybe I should try that out.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I mean?
makes sense, right.
So I don't know. The point is like that to me, like the Edits app, like getting on it early was an example of like, okay, embracing this right away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
as
So
you should, yeah,
and embracing change. You know what I mean? So pulling it back to AI. You know what I mean? It's like, have you like? The thing is another thing, like clients don't even notice. Like, you know, no client's like, yo, did you put that lemon in AI? Like, or have you ever had that? I'm curious.
No, not
We've
usually.
had a few clients that we were talking to.
It's like that lemon was not on set.
We had like one guy that was like super like, you know, asking me about it, but he didn't, so we didn't work for him, but he was a potential client, but he was like, you know, I'm not working with anybody that ever uses AI, but Photoshop's okay, but no AI. I'm like, dude, you don't even know
the same tool. Like generative fill is literally in.
It's Photoshop AI.
Yeah,
like I have that.
Like,
Like, you're not gonna know, you know. And no, we ended up not working with him, but it was just like I kind of thought about it, if we do work with him, like, do I even tell him, right? Like if it's the same product, like you know, why does it matter? Like he was just one of those people that it's like AI is gonna take our job. I don't want to hire anybody that uses AI. You know, and like I said, I mean, the calls on the project, you know, right?
Because some people, a lot of editorial work that we do, clients will just tell us, go crazy. Like, just take a photo and have fun with it.
And if it looks good, it looks good.
And like you said, the BTS stuff, like sometimes we do just keep it super natural, and the BTS does better than, and also the companies like to post the BTS stuff. So it's like, even with the Hive cans, like we did incorporate some AI into the imagery, but half the time we were actually doing those, like we were just cleaning backgrounds up or whatever we were doing.
It's like so simple stuff, you know what I mean? Like, like, I don't know. And I think it also comes with like being educated on exactly what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you don't like AI? Well, AI extended the curtains in that podcast. You know what I mean? It's like
exactly. It's like I said, that's the best way I could put it, is like putting pieces of the puzzle. Yeah. And I've never just used AI in one go where it was like I just did a whole campaign and pressed a button and just, you know, and that was it, right? It was always like I did something and then I added a piece of AI here, or I did like 50 different points of AI throughout that one video or image to make it like super pristine, like a puzzle.
And we've had AI for such a long time. It's just been called different things. You know what I mean? That's like, I mean, Photoshop, like half the tools, like they've had that generative fill tool for, I don't know,
2 years now.
Yeah, even longer, dude. That's what I'm saying. And it's like, before the AI version, like there was just one that would just like take the information that was in your photo and be able to extend it. And it's like, that's technical. Like I didn't do that. That was not my intelligence. It was their intelligence.
You're right. Like think of the Facetune app, like with that.
Yeah, there's so many things.
That's like, been around forever, and people were, you know, and that's
it's
all
AI.
Yeah,
all these filters, like there's so much stuff, like filters and stuff. Like if you're not doing it yourself and the computer is doing it for you,
that's
AI. Yeah, I mean, it's like you know, what I mean, it's been around forever. Like so,
I say the biggest thing is just don't get lazy with it. Like don't think that it's going to be the end all or like solve all your problems.
I think it's a tool. I think it's important to stay up on top of it and using it to your advantage. But yeah, people that are like kind of sitting in a corner and being like, oh, like, and like I said, there's something for everything, especially with my mother really showed me that and just what we do, right? I mean, it's people still want.
People work with people because they like them.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I got one last question for you guys. We talked about early in the pod. We're at the end now.
Yeah.
The engagement. We alluded to it in the beginning. How did that all happen? You know, I mean, it's recent. Like,
you go ahead, baby.
So we went to Paso Robles, California, and he actually tricked me a little bit because he said that we were going there.
He trickster you?
Yeah. He said that we were going there and working with this art exhibit in Paso, which we've always wanted to go to, but we just never had the time. Is Sensorio light exhibit. It's absolutely breathtaking. So it's a full field and they have all these different colored lights and structures and they have music playing throughout the exhibits and it's a fully immersive art exhibit experience. So he told me that they want us to go take a photo of their new exhibit and do like some cute couple stuff. And
was there anything odd about it? You know what I mean? Was it like no red flags? Like you weren't like, oh, they normally hit me about that?
No,
like,
not even. No, because he's the one, he's always the communicator. And then I'm the one who plans everything else. But so he fully planned it and I was like, okay, like whatever. And even our friend actually came out to shoot the light exhibit with us. And even
that was the hardest part, was finding like, how do I set this up with, because we're, like I said, I mean, it makes sense for us, somebody else to be on a project with us, like I said, and they're shooting around, but it was like, we haven't done a project, I don't think, where we've hired a photographer to photograph us. Right. Usually if we're modeling something, we'll set up the camera on a tripod and kind of handle it that way.
Mm-hmm. So what was your excuse?
He just wanted to come and shoot with us, which is something that this guy does anyway. He travels the world. Like he'll be.
So it wasn't like a foreign concept to you guys.
No, okay, this guy's known to just get into a plane. Shout out to Casey. He's just known to get on a plane. And,
Casey makes music, Casey?
No, another different. Casey.
I mean, he does that too.
I was gonna say, yeah.
No, Casey. From Denver. He's just known to get on a plane and fly somewhere. So he's done that with us a few times where I was just like, yo, I'm over here, and he'll just fly to us. So he was actually the perfect person to surprise. And he's also like a really easy person to like just kind of not be like, up my ass with the engagement either. Like I had some friends that I thought about bringing, but I wanted it to be a very like intimate, special moment. And obviously bringing like a third person into that mix, like it could potentially ruin the vibe, right? Mm-hmm. So I just knew he does his own thing, like right. He's just so relaxed. He's a good. And
he was in on the plan.
Yeah.
So you called him up. You're like, yo.
I was like, hey man, I'm gonna buy your flights. Like, can you come out here and like photograph this? And he's like, okay, well I'm gonna drive back to LA that night. And yeah, that's what he did. Yeah, shout out to him. He's a real.
So walk me through the moment now. You know what I mean? What are you looking at? Some lights? And you're just like, that's sick, and then you turn around.
Yeah. So we went up to this VIP area, and there's like all these tables set up in front of fireplaces overlooking this field of lights, and we're watching it at sunset. And Chris is like, all right, like this is where they want us to take the photos. Like we just need to capture this scene right here, and then we'll be good. And so I said, okay. And we're standing there posing, doing the typical couple thing and, holding each other, acting all cute. And Casey, our friend, tells me, all right, turn that way so I get the lighting better on that side.
He killed it, yeah.
And I said, all right. And so I turned away. And then Casey was like, all right, you can go to the other side now. And so I turn around and then there's Chris on one knee.
Yeah.
And I think
I
didn't even have to communicate with Casey. Casey was perfect during that time not to like, right? Like it was great. He's like he should be he should just do engagement photography.
I know. And I know you had like a little speech plan and you started talking to me, but I think I blacked out. Because
I don't think I even made sense. I don't even remember what I said, but I didn't say much. I mean, I did. I said
no,
something.
You did. You were talking for a while, and I couldn't focus. I was like, oh my god, is this actually happening?
I was nervous, dude. I usually don't feel as nervous as I was. It was that whole process, like.
Well, what a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I like the thing is like when you feel nervous in those situations, it's because you care. Yeah, I mean? It's
definitely,
like for sure. You know what I mean? So it's really a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. It was never done that. So
Well, congratulations, guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And so then what'd you guys do after that? What was the what the rest of the
We went to Denny's.
Nice. Let's go.
Yeah, we got pancakes. Yeah, dude. It was sick, actually. It was really lit.
It was a great night.
It was. But though, real quick story about the engagement, which we'll post a photo up, but later, and I'll show you later. But it's the Sensorio is an immersive
art exhibit.
Art exhibit. And in Japan, we went to on our first real date, I think our second day in Japan, on our first date that we were talking about when we first met, we went to an indoor immersive art exhibit in Tokyo. And this went hand on hand because this art exhibit in California almost was like the same thing. Different, but
I get it. So it had like meaning. Like I understand because it was like brought you back to that first one.
Right. Yeah. And this is also a place for us. Like we travel so much. This Paso Robles, California, we always like joked about how we'll retire there maybe one day. it's literally like our vacation spot.
Yeah. And it's actually, we were also staying at the one of the first hotels that we ever worked with.
And yeah, it's like our second after Park Hyatt. It was like our second or third hotel ever, and that's actually how we found out about that area, and we fell in love with it. And now we have like one of our best friends, Ty, that lives up there, and we just go for a vacation. You know, we're really spoiled. We get to travel the country a lot, and we also like when we do want to take a break, we end up just staying in Vegas because it's like we've been on the road for so long, but this is a place that we can also leave home and we don't feel, you know, and still special, holds meaning to us.
Yeah.
Really special place. If you ever get a chance to go out there. It's beautiful.
It's nice.
Yeah.
No, it's exciting, dude. So, I don't know, I'm just like happy for you guys. Like this makes me like, yeah, so what's next for you guys? We'll end it out on that.
Yeah. We just got back from Aruba yesterday or 2 days ago. We were there for almost a month. We just worked on a really fun project out there for Boardwalk Aruba. And then we're gonna
back to Vegas eventually. We're
I think we're gonna stay out here for a month.
We're gonna stay out here for a little while, but then we have more projects in California that we need to head back for.
Oh yeah,
Warped Tour, and then what's after? And then we're working for a new property called Kendrick Oak in Paso Robles, California.
Really
we just
cute
talked about.
bed and breakfast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're working for them. We're gonna go up there, and then we're gonna go to Greece for a month, and then we're gonna do When We Were Young Festival, and then I don't know, then a ton.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, but as far as we have some projects that we can't talk about just yet, but they're probably
have
the
to have
biggest.
you guys back.
Yeah, they're like the biggest projects we've ever done, and we're really, really excited, and we're so eager to tell people.
Yeah,
and we just waiting for that sweet spot, right, to be able to tell people, hopefully. So yeah, man, it's been a really exciting time. You know, and you too, right? I mean, you've been. This is an exciting time, man. You know, this is.
You guys know some secrets about me that the public doesn't know about me.
Right.
So like, it's nice to have like something nice on the horizon. Like, you know, like with the project you can't talk. Like, it is nice. Like, you know, it sucks not being able to tell people. You know, what I mean? Because you have to internal. But there is. It's like
something nice about it.
There is something nice because then it's like, oh, like I feel like it almost like. Doesn't matter what happens between now and then because I got that thing in the horizon that's like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, it just gives you something to look forward to. And then
for sure.
when it comes out, it's like, oh.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
You almost forget about it. It's like in your back pocket and then like months go by.
It's exactly that.
And I love that because it's like you already moved on to the next bigger projects. But then you're like, oh, like now I can finally tell people.
And then it hits at a moment where you're already doing something cool. Like you're already, because you're doing something else or you're doing something cool. And it's just like, oh yeah, I did do that. You know, what I mean? It's fun. It is fun. But I mean, congratulations on the engagement. Congratulations on all your guys' success.
Thanks, dude.
And if people want to connect with you, find you, or book you, how can they?
Instagram at Sin City Creative, or you can look up sincitycreative.com.
We just started an OnlyFans.
Don't tell them about that.
sincitycreative.com and Chris Folch and Savvy Travels on Instagram. And that's about it, right? Don't look too much onto Google, but those are the platforms that we offer. You know.
Yeah. So. Well, amazing. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
I love the 3-person set. I honestly like this angling a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly,
it's a little close, but like there's something I like about it.
And nobody got hit with a stand yet.
Oh yeah.
So,
no, we were very close today.
We were.
I didn't see you guys playing footsie though.
We have been playing footsies this whole time. That's gonna go on the OnlyFans, so you'll catch that and then.
I was filming on a separate angle down here on my phone the entire hour and a half. Well, all right, guys. Thank you for coming on.